Welcome to another episode of Psychic Sunday, and I'm your host, Reverend Erin-Ashley and founder of Spiritual Mechanic. Today we are going to talk about how to let go of energy. So in this episode, you're going to learn why your energy gets stuck to begin with, why it really doesn't matter whether it's your energy or someone else's. This is for all of my empath viewers, right? And why welcoming the energy allows you to let it go. It's a cool little hack that I learned about a decade ago. And I'm actually going to show you how to welcome and let go of any energy that's residual in your system that's not yours to deal with. First, let's talk about why energy gets stuck. Energy gets stuck because it has no way out. Energy's natural state is to flow, shift, change, and transmute. That's what it does when we get out of the way and allow it to do its thing. When it doesn't do that, it's because there's something that we have done to keep it stuck. Now, most of the time, it's because we're trying to control, suppress, resist, avoid, or otherwise hide from what is being experienced in the moment. And whenever we are suppressing, resisting, and doing all of those other things, our energy naturally contracts. And that means that the energies get stuck. Think of it like shrink wrap, right? Let's say there's a ball of energy that's coming up and it's just flowing through your system. It's about to pop out into the universe and transmute and do whatever energy does. But instead of allowing it, it's like, oh, this is a feeling I don't want. This is an energy I don't like. And you contract on it. What happens is you hold it still. You keep it inside your system. You may have heard the term, what you resist persists, I suppose that's a phrase, not a term, but I'm sure you've heard it. And this is why that happens. Whenever you resist something, you contract around it. And even though what you're trying to do is like get it out and force it out, the opposite happens. It stays longer, which is 0% fun. So we're going to move on and I'm going to help you understand what to do next. Okay, so why it does not matter if it's yours or not. So this is for my empath folks. If you're an empath, then you experience other people's energies, usually their emotions, as if they are your own. So if someone walks by you feeling happy, you naturally feel happy. If someone walks by you feeling sad, you'll feel sad. Same thing with anxiety, etc. So a lot of time empaths will come to me and stress very heavily that they want to get rid of other people's energy, but they still want all of their own crap, right? They actually argue for keeping their own energy, including the things that are no longer appropriate for them to have in their energy field. And so whenever it comes to the letting go process and the welcoming process, it actually doesn't matter if it's yours or not. So when it comes to the skill set of letting go, if you're an empath, letting go of other people's energy is just as easy and follows the exact same process as letting go of your own, right? And so if you learn how to do one, you can automatically do both. And so here's why. Stagnant energy, regardless of whether it's yours or someone else's, is no longer yours and is ready to be let go of, right? So I'll say this again. Stagnant energy, no matter its origin, is no longer yours and ready to be let go of, which means that even if that energy was genuinely yours and you remember its origin because you were there whenever you were 6 and your mother said something mean and the hurt is still there when you think about it, if it's stagnant, if it no longer is flowing or moving naturally, and there's that desire to let it go, then guess what? It's ready to be released. It's ready. And since you can tell it's ready, it means it's no longer yours, it's the universe's. Okay, so let's talk about welcoming. Welcoming actually allows you to let go. And it's one of the things, the first time people hear, they're like, what? But I'm trying to get rid of this thing. Why would I welcome it? Right? So especially think of anxiety. Whenever I walk people through this the first time, they're like, wait, you want me to feel my anxiety to let it go? This sucks, EA. But don't worry, I'm going to show you how. And it's really not as scary as it sounds. Okay, so welcoming works with the energy of acceptance, which is one of the highest vibration energies you can work with. Welcoming creates space which dissolves resistance, repression, suppression, and constriction, and all the other things that keep energy stuck inside you. So if you remember, restriction is like shrink wrap and it goes whoop, and then it holds a little ball of energy in, right? Welcoming, think about whenever you want to welcome someone into your home. You create space. If you want to welcome someone into your life, you create space. If you see someone who you really enjoy and you want to welcome them because maybe they're visiting or something, you open your arms. There's this physical movement you do where you open your body and you open and welcome them, right? So even whenever we're welcoming in day-to-day life, we naturally expand. And so whenever you allow yourself to welcome and expand, then energy can move freely. So I just want to remind you, energy's natural state is to flow, shift, change, and transmute. That's what it does when we get out of the way and allow it to do its thing. Okay, beginner mistake alert. I see this all the time, but there's a huge difference between the vibration of acceptance and resignation. So you do not want to confuse these two terms. Acceptance is the energy of openness, of harmony, of expansion, of this feeling of all is well as it is. There's no desire to control, change, shift, etc. Resignation is trying to force yourself to be, do, have, or become something that you are experiencing resistance to being, doing, having, or becoming. Energetically, they are nothing alike, not even a little bit. Okay, so you always want to check in, especially if you feel like you're having to force something. We're going to get into an exercise here soon. Then that is not the energy that you want to approach it with. If you are trying to force yourself to do something, like for instance, if you're asking yourself, can I let this go? And you're trying to force yourself to let go, that's not it. Instead, you want to welcome the fact that you are actually not ready to let go in that moment of time. Right? Because that's welcoming. That's an expansive feeling. It's an open feeling. Okay. So answer and lead with the heart whenever you're doing these exercises. Okay. So let's actually talk about the 5 steps to welcome and let go of energy. Now, this is my own take or adaptation to the Sedona Method. The Sedona Method is a great method by Hale Dwoskin. Very much love his work. I'm a huge fan of his. And this is something that I was trained to facilitate. And so this is how I work with my clients. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to get in touch with your current experience. If you have a topic in mind, use it. If you're simply feeling a little bit of mental and emotional clutter, then just stick with what's true for you right now, right? So you want to get in touch with your current experience. And then you want to welcome thoughts, feelings, sensations, and memories about your current experience, right? Notice that feeling of welcoming. And so you're getting in touch with your experience, then you're welcoming the thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And then you also welcome any desire to change, control, resist, or avoid your thoughts. Why? This allows you to welcome even more of the energy that's probably stagnant surrounding the issue. And then, just for now, could you allow that entire energy to float out of your awareness, right? Just allow yourself to rest. And for this, you never want to force it. If it's not floating out, like if you say, yes, I can allow it to float out and it's still there, you're not doing it wrong. It's just not ready to float out of your awareness yet. That's just fine. And so you can go back to step 1. Sometimes there's a little more to welcome. Or sometimes, you'll actually get the release that you're looking for. You'll actually let go after just 1 round. Now, this is something I do recommend doing until you feel that sense of acceptance and peace. And so I'm just going to give you an example of what this might look like for an individual. So let's say someone is trying to kindle a good relationship. They're looking for a romantic partner. So whenever they think about a romantic partnership, they feel simultaneously excited and scared, right? Now, the excitement probably feels more fun to them. So they're going to work on releasing the fear, right? They don't want to feel scared anymore. So you want to focus on just the one thing, so the scared. So you think about, okay, I feel scared. And then you welcome your thoughts, feelings, sensations, and memories. I feel scared because my last boyfriend was a real jerk and he strung me along and he lied to me a lot and I didn't catch it very early. And I feel like I invested a lot of time that I didn't want to invest. So that's step 2. And you just welcome that. You're not trying to control it. You're not arguing with your own internal truth in that moment. Step 3 is welcome the desire to change, control, or resist, which includes, so you kind of dig deeper. Okay, do I want to change that I invested that time with Bobby, right? Making up a name here. And then you welcome that desire to do something with it, to fix it, to change it, to have things be different. And then step 4, once you fully welcome it, you ask yourself, just for now, could I let that energy float out of the awareness? Sometimes it does this all on its own and you're done. Other times it's like, there's something else there. So then you focus on that thing and you go to, what's the current experience? Welcome the thoughts, welcome the desire, etc., until you feel complete. Okay? Now, in general, going through this 3 or 4 times takes about 5 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of time. And so you just want to welcome each step. Ideally, you want to spend about 10 to 15 seconds on, right? You want to welcome the whole energy of it, and that can take a little bit of time. If you're not sure, you want to go for more time rather than less, and you want to welcome what's true for you in the moment, but you want to avoid getting too deep into the story. So if you start thinking of every boyfriend that you've ever had that sucked, just choose the first one that pops into your head, okay? Because they're all tied together energetically. So thinking about one and working with one automatically releases and assists you in letting go of all the energy. Okay, let me know if that makes sense in the comments, and also definitely try this and let me know your experience with it. So now on to you. Have you learned a really cool way or a really effective way of letting go that works for you? What helped you let go? Share a way, help your other spiritual mechanics. Let us all know. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode.